Yo, what's up? It's AI, the Anomaly, and you are listening and watching Pin Game 101. Let's go.
Yeah. Check the pin game, check the pin game. Got your favorite rappers going insane. Then we run the gauntlet like the end game. So what you waiting for? Check the pin game.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Justin Sarachik, editor-in-chief of Rapzilla.com, and we are back with episode 7 of Pen Game 101. And today we have a special episode because we have AI, the Anomaly, on, and she's going to talk about her new project, Soul's Acrylic. I'm here with my panelists, Luke DiMarzio, Elijah Matos, and Cutright. And we are going to first give you the pen where we break it down. Then she's going to join us for the game where she's going to do some amazing things probably, and then we're going to ask her some questions. She's going to take us to school on the 101. So let's start it off. Let's break down Soul's Acrylic. We're going to kick it to Luke for the first track, which is Soul's Acrylic.
Yeah, man, we're just starting out with like vibes. We got rain pouring down. It sounds like the typical intro to a hip hop album. So there's like a bass line. This happens a lot throughout this album. There's like a live bass track, like someone's actually playing the bass, moving around organically, and then she starts like with this spoken word thing, and she's talking about the blank canvas she's painting on, and then it's like a stream of consciousness, but the song continues to build to where like all of a sudden it's not an intro anymore and it's a song. And so what's really cool is also how that instrumental bed underneath her changes, and it stays organic though. There's congas and bongos, and then like the kick and the hi-hat come in a little later. So yeah, I just really noticed how all of this is like ramping up in and setting the tone for what the rest of the album is going to sound like. And then also her rhymes at the end of this, she's foreshadowing the names and the themes of things that are going to happen later in the album. And this is my first listen that I wrote this down, but like I'm already noticing that she's talking about other tracks in this, and so that's pretty cool how she was able to do that. It's a really dope way to start out an album, and it's a pretty long intro, so I guess I call it a song, but it's kind of an intro too. But anyway, it was dope. It was really dope.
Next track was East Side, right? And this record was nasty. Like, it's nasty, you know what I mean? Like, I know this joint been out for a while, but every time I hear it, like, I think that Method Man about to tag in because the beat just so grimy, you know what I mean? Yeah, she just sit back in the hook like she just chilling in a hammock on a swing, just singing it. Then she just come back with the verse with the chainsaw, like, you know what I'm saying? The one thing that I really appreciate about AI is the fact that she still keeps the overall theme in mind throughout the song as well, while still weaving out there with the terrific tongue tapestries in case somebody's shivering out in the cold from her delivery because it's so cold.
Following up on Cut was speaking some facts, and you know what the next track is called? The next track is called Facts, all right? And there's a series of bars in the first few seconds of this thing that is absolutely insane. AI is like, my business is philanthropic. I capture truth with my optics. I put profit in other markets, invested in younger pockets because next gen they be watching. Like, yo, who gave anyone the right to rap like this? That's not okay. And then she unleashes what I call the Holy Ghost salvo of lines. I'm indifferent. My mission ain't to be top position. My ambition is rooted deep in the Holy Scriptures. My intent is to point them all to the crucifixion, exposing lies and shine a light on the contradiction. He gave me light, and with this life, I choose to live it. That's just the rapidy rap. That's crazy. Every single bar, you're just riding with it, and it's absolutely insane. I also appreciate the nuance the AI brings to the conversation of being not only a woman in hip-hop, but a Christian woman, where she's choosing to embrace the Christian worldview. But in doing so, it kind of contradicts ideas that are like the over-sexualization of women that's popularized in hip-hop culture. So love the song, and the bars just go insane.
All right, yos, right? So the next record was Freedom Palace. And this joint made me want to dance around the crib like I was Cinderella at the ball. I got on glass flip-flops, you know what I'm saying? The imagery on this joint was vibrant as ever, painting a portrait of her early childhood and the thoughts that many of us had as feelings that many of us have wrestled with at times, like, you know, why God make me, what a waste of a seed. I mean, just dealing with the struggles of your purpose, you know what I'm saying? Just laying out the hardships she went through, rejoicing in the fact that regardless of how she may have felt, she now has all that she requires because she's secure in Jesus, right? Then Soul Child Sanders slides in with the love, 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 love. You know what I'm saying? Switches it up in the third, then gets busy. You know, whenever Jared Sanders shows up for work, it's finna be overtime. Business has picked up like it was trash, and we on the highway, and we just picking up. That's how he pick up business. And just when you thought it was over, the beat switches and AI go deeper, revealing to us where God has rescued her from, bearing her soul like she ain't got no shoes on, just like look at my feet, you know what I mean, and just look at the bottom of my shoes, you know what I'm saying? Then following that, she comes back with Kodak, not Kodak Black, but Kodak camera, because it's about memories, you know what I mean? And this project is so emotionally heavy. Like, this is another one that weighs heavy on the heart of AI. She looks back at her journey from being adopted and the after effects of motherhood, dealing with postpartum depression, thanking God for keeping her through all of the pain and all the suicidal thoughts that she had wrestled with, and the valleys that she's emerged from. I think so many who have been through so much of the same, and yet for her to bear it all out there the way that she has, all across this project up to this point, serves as therapeutic for her while positioning her in the place of therapist for countless others.
The next track is Don't Fail Me. And so I actually heard this track last year, and I actually got to chop it up a little bit. So we have this internal conversation with ourselves about how we don't want to fail those that we love, but at the same time, we're pleading with them to not fail us. So it's interesting to me how, like, I heard this last year just by itself, but then placed into this album, it fits perfectly. And it was like she just knew what she was doing, you know? So it was really great how it fits into the larger scheme of the project. Yeah, and I just always thought it was going to be a single that stood on its own, but the direction that it all goes, and especially with the little snippet at the end, it just connects it to the other ways, the other stuff in beautiful ways. And so, yeah, this is a good track. Solid.
Absolutely. Next track is Grab My Hand. And I'm going to need everyone or someone to bring concerts back so we can feel this one live, because the singing on this song is absolutely insane. AI says, hoping you're here, screaming out, hopeless, grab my hand, I'm here, my friend. And that is just such a painful plea. And so much so, you know, I almost let out a thug tear or two. I love the perspectives that are represented on this one, both the person begging for help and the one seeking to give it, but seeming just too far. This one also introduces the role of AI as a sister and the struggles that her brother is going through. So we got to keep her brother in prayer. But it's just so hard because she wants to reach him so bad. He just doesn't accept her help. And that's kind of just the brokenness that's represented on this song. It just, the vulnerability is just much appreciated.
All right, so the next track was Not Okay. This joint had heavy Jill Scott vibes. Like, I'm talking Words and Sounds, Volume 1. Let's take a long walk through the park after dark. But bring a flashlight. I mean, her honesty and her vulnerability was on full display here, tackling her mental instability and the masks that she chooses to wear, as many of us do, before coming to herself and asking, who am I running from? As if deciding then and there that she's going to face her issues head on.
Yeah, and then the next track is called Journal Entry 6. This is something that she brings up in all of her projects. She has something named Journal Entry. Her last project, she had Journal Entry 5, and so it makes sense. This one's called Journal Entry 6. But she's having a conversation with her daughter here about what a journal is, and it's kind of following this theme of her being able to pass on the way she views life to her kids throughout a lot of this. It's so deep. There's so many different levels to what she's doing in this whole project, but she kind of raises the curtain on this idea that this song will be one of her journal entries. And so this song is about how she's looking for better days. She's got a lot of soul to these melodic performances. It's really crazy how she can flip back and forth from singing to rapping just so effortlessly. She doesn't just hang out in these melodies because she's really intent on when she's going to flow. And she's got some crazy rhyme schemes here. Meanwhile, the killers creep, bullets flying by, coming like lullabies, corners with candlelight. Serve you like dinner time, this little light of mine, I'ma let it shine. But she throws this like airy Kendrick Lamar like raspy voice thing on top of it, and it just sounds so crazy. Man, I just feel like she can just really do anything on a mic. Like, I think it's just all about performance. She's an amazing performer on the mic. The beat on this one is really easy for me. Like, there wasn't really much to it. It doesn't change much except for pauses that enhance the punchlines. And so you just forget to even pay attention to the beat because of what she's able to do on the mic. So they work hand in hand that way, that when the performance works hand in hand with the beat, you got a really good song. So yeah, and she ends with this crazy line. It's really good. I'm not oppressed by my skin. I'm oppressed by my sin. You too. I was like, yeah, that's great. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Yo, the next track after that was Relentless, featuring Bizzle. I dig the production change here. You know, a lot of the tracks before this thus far had a really top up north Griselda type of feel. You know what I mean? Early 90s, just that grimy slime on the wall, subway rats running around, you know what I mean? But this change was kind of a little bit more current. You already know what Bizzle showed up to do. If you ain't know by now, you know after listening to this, you know what I mean? From the first bar to verse, he was already foot to the floor with the gas. The AI got tagged back in on the second verse, and she came off the top rope with the people elbow, reminding listeners that she is not the token female rapper on the crew like a mill. You know what I mean? But she's an Amazon warrior on a roster full of verbal Spartans and lyrical Leonidas. And I'm just saying, what happened to the for God I live, for God I die? These numbers rise, the pride go high. Like what else could be said? You know what I mean? This record was a steel toe boot stamp on the Nikes of this thing called Christian hip hop. The fresh white Nikes of this thing called. Selah was in the back. He was on his hoodie season. Then he went and threw the triple fat goose on top of that joint and went off. And Selah is one of the best pens in the game. He never disappoints on a record. Check his record if you think I'm lying. I ain't never lying. Because Jesus live in me and Jesus not a liar. God is not a man. He should lie. Anyway, then AI came back from behind with the shank. She's like, yeah, chick, yeah. You know what I mean? The stabbing folk with the bars. And it was all piercing truth. It was all truth. You know what I mean? Calling a spade and questioning what happened to those things that we had in place to keep an artist accountable and to the standards of the faith that we used to hold to. What happened?
The next track, Gold. And so like we're 12 tracks in now, and I'm recalling how each of these songs is constructed. And so at the beginning of this, I'm like, wow, none of these songs has started the same way. Sometimes we got like a guitar swell, or we start out with spoken word, or we start out with the hook, or we start out with a guest feature vocalist, or we got some boom bap starting off the song. So it's pretty crazy. We're 12 tracks in, and none of these songs has started the same way. I feel like all the textures in these songs is different. She's crafting something different with every track, and that's really cool to do. Especially in a longer project, artists tend to get formulaic, but so not in AI's case. I appreciate the intentionality behind how everything ebbs and flows together. The keys in this instrumental on this song, Gold, it sounds like chimes that would be part of a 70s game show or a sitcom theme song. And so Eshawn comes in at the top of this song, and man, it's just crazy. I appreciate also how AI lets herself clean up after most of these features. It's just really cool. I think I'm used to hearing features later in songs. So this is just an observation, but I just thought it was really cool. She lets everybody else go first, and then she like one-ups them almost, every time. I really like, just the whole idea of empowering, respecting Black women. I wrote down these bars here. Tell me what's the root of it all, or do I evolve? Am I a queen or a slave? Strip the chain or strip for change? Grip the stain, it's a myth to change. No victim blame, I overcame all your whips and chains. You could see the pain, past full of evil aims. Hit or miss, clench a fist, I see what the missiles did, but we never lose. I'm like crazy. She just goes from rhyme scheme to rhyme scheme, like just perfectly. It's beautiful, beautiful.
Facts. I do want to chime in and say, as a Black man, I love this record's celebration of strength, beauty, and boldness of the Black woman. You know what I mean? This record was beautifully necessary, and the fact that it comes from another Black woman giving flowers to her sisters in the struggle, reminding them that they are of value, that they are virtuous, and that they are royalty is phenomenal, and we need more records like this, please, preferably featuring Jackie Hill Perry. I'm just saying.
Next track is called Grown Woman, and Grown Woman has a real mysterious vibe in its production that's pretty subtle, but it's accompanied by some really killer lines. And if you guys don't know it by now, AI the Anomaly can rap, right? She goes, Woman, pack light and keep your faith right. God first, where we aim. It don't matter what the day like. This dark gonna come, so prepare in the daylight. Man, that light dark imagery, it's become a little bit of a cliche in literature, in writing, but you know what? It's so well implemented here. I don't mind it at all. And AI's cadences are on point as she's walking through all these lines. As a song, Grown Woman just does a really great job of uniting all the roles that AI has been spelling out for us throughout the whole album, from wife, sister, woman, artist, mother, all of the above.
Then we got choices. And so now that I said that in my last critique, I feel like this is the first time that this instrumental sounds like a repeat. It was bound to happen eventually here. She's singing the hook at the top, but it's a similar thing. It doesn't mean that the song isn't dope. I'm just like, yeah, eventually you're going to have something that sounds similar to something else. The choices are yours. So the first verse is a list of all these things that she's familiar with. I really like this rhyme scheme. It's just something else she's trying. She's had it tough financially, but Jehovah provided for her. Just really vulnerable in these lyrics again. And the hook's meaning, then the second time that I hear it, it changes everything for me, because I'm starting to ask, oh, what if like she's just talking about free will? What if she's just talking about like how she expects her children to be able to navigate life? And so it was like really deep for me. This is one I'm going to want to return to eventually.
The next record was Preach. And I want you to know, we're not done. Back to your regular schedule, scrunch face. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, meow. This is my air horn because I got to hit it. Meow, 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 meow. Don DeMarco. You know what I mean? This joint was tough. I mean, it was tough. She jumped on this Griselda style record and went so hard, she made Benny the Butcher sound like Baby Bop. This is my favorite record on the album by a mile. By a mile. Yo, she just exuding confidence and boldness. And she was just slapping folks with the words. She's like, here you go, Leviticus. Deuteronomy. Just slap, you know what I'm saying? I need more of this, AI. I need more of this. I'm finna put my mask on. I'm finna slide up on the enemy camp with the blicky, with the sticky, and I'm finna take back everything I stole, like, brrr, you know what I mean? This is what this make me feel like, you know what I mean? I got it tucked. I got 66 in the chamber for you. This Luke 9.
Yeah, man.
To quote Lecrae. You know what I mean? This joint was fire.
It's crazy. Yeah, in my notes I had that was the perfect track. That like it had everything. It's dope.
Yeah,
right,
I'm gonna chime in and say that when I heard that track, I think I just put it on like 6 times in a row. Like I got through it once and I was like, all right, let's just run it back. let's just I got nothing. Like this was insane.
Have ski mask, Sarah chick.
Yeah.
With the ski mask on, Sarah chick. I see you outside, so we hitting up the devil camp right now.
All right, and we close out with okay, okay. And what's crazy is this has similar textures to the intro track, and while the intro track I felt like was foreshadowing what we were getting ready to hear, this is a reflection of all we just heard. Like she's taken a step back, like she's finished the product and she's taken a step back and just taken it all in. She's pulling out all of the themes that were touched on throughout this work of art. It is like really beautiful how she wrapped it up. I loved this. Perfect ending to the whole project.
So that is AI the Anomaly's Soul's Acrylic. Now she's going to join us for some games and to give us the 101 and give us some knowledge on everything that we just spoke about. So, all right, here's that fade. Here's that famous pen game fade. Hey, what's up, everyone? So we are now here with AI the Anomaly for Pen Game 101, and she is joining us to hopefully absolutely wreck it on these games. Her new project, Soul's Acrylic. We just spent a long time talking about it before getting to her. So now hopefully we get to learn a little bit more about it. AI, what's up? Welcome to Pen Game 101. Tell us what's going on.
What's up? I am very thrilled and excited to be here. This is awesome. I'm, coming off of many meetings on Zoom. So yeah, but it's good to be in this situation where it's not like all about like numbers and important stuff. Nah, this is important. I'm just joking. I don't know, man. I'm just excited to be here and to chop it up with you guys and talk about the new project, Souls Acrylic, and being able to get my art out in the way in which I would like to. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and we're excited to have you too because, this was a big, meaty album to break down. Like, we've been dealing with a lot of EPs and a couple of songs here and there the last couple episodes. So there's plenty of content for this. But before that, we're going to throw you right into the wolves.
Uh-oh.
All
right.
There's your cue.
Shout out to my wolf pack out there. They got my back just in case it get too crazy.
So that first game is Cut Right. Take it from here. Go.
Ayo, AI, the Anomaly. We about to
good?
see. We about to see what's good. Hey, you have
see.
now entered into I don't know how many wolves there are in the lion's den, but you in the den of the bar builder. This is build a bar.
Well then.
You know what I'm saying? What's going to happen is that I'm going to provide you with a word, and you have to build a bar around a word. It could be 2 bars, 4 bars. You know what I mean? You could spit a 16 if you feel like it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let's see. So, are you up to the task?
Let's go for it. Let's go for it. We got beats, or we just
it's
just rapping.
Look, it's off the top like a Wiccan church. We about to get it. You know what I mean? Yo, right? So, because you say you're an artiste, we gonna flip some artist words, all right? The first word, Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
Happy little tree.
Hold on. Dip the brush in a cup, right? Dip the brush in a cup. We painting it up. Let me straighten it up. Y'all be faking it up. I'll be caking it up.
Baker bars.
We be baking it up. These is cookie bars. Time to shaking it up. All right, let's get to Bob Ross. I mess up. Dag, that's a hard toss. I'm trying to stay focused on the teacher, Bob Ross.
Hey, all right. Yeah, I like the build up. You had to build the foundation to the roof, It was like, okay, next word, we gonna go Da Vinci.
Okay. Da Vinci. Hold on, give me a second. Let me prepare these bars. Let me souffle. Let me souffle the bars real quick.
Miss Cook, you got to
Let me get some Laurie's. Get some Laurie's real quick. Put it in a pot. Put it in a pot. Whip it up. All right, let me see. Not many could get me. The ink game is plenty. Drip, drip, it's insane. Da Vinci. Artistic pieces on my wall. Get with me. Now.
And DeMarco, that's what's up. Okay. Yo, we gonna do 2 more. We gonna do Hobby Lobby.
Hobby Lobby. First of all, yeah. Hobby Lobby. Yeah.
You might gotta tap into your inner Cameron Dipset. You know what I mean?
Flow sicker. Flow sicker. Flow sicker. The picture. Goat. Okay. Flow sicker. The picture. I'm a goat. No. Flow sicker. I'm a go getter. Keep my bars sick. Can't cope with her. Many try, but they can't go with her. They just copy. They ain't ready to put pieces together. Craft shop. I'll be on that Hobby Lobby.
This in a package with a poppy.
Hey, Y'all say y'all got bars, but they sloppy.
Ooh, bow, 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 bow. Word.
I'll be spitting on the track, choppy. No, I can't.
Word.
Be in a Zoom meeting, it be choppy.
Nah, you
All
be
right.
in a Zoom meeting. My kids come calling mommy.
Oh man, mommy.
Word.
Be like, it's
Yo,
facts.
they want them forevers. Word.
Yo,
Okay.
right. Just keep going.
Word.
What we got?
Okay,
What's next?
so Sears Tower.
Say it one more time.
Sears Tower.
Sears Tower doesn't
Sears
exist, by the way.
Tower.
Word is not.
It's the Willis Tower now.
It's
but
a myth?
anyway, go on.
Willis Tower.
Take it back. This is a
Okay.
throwback bar.
Is this the
You
throwback?
want to give me a different one?
Where here we go, Crayola.
The game over. In my life, I display hover. And I ain't talking about Jay. I don't play. This ain't no construction paper scene. No Crayola. I'm just saying. I don't know, y'all.
All right, one more.
Yo, that's dope. That was good.
Last one, Souls Acrylic.
Souls Acrylic. I'm trying not to think of what I said on my project, right? I'm just trying to come up with something different and fresh.
Fresh market bars. I dig that. It's delivered. It's DiGiorno. It's not delivery. You got it.
No, you got it. And if you get the DiGiorno to me too late, I want another one. Give me the plate.
Another.
Give me the plate. Chop it up. Ooh, that's great. No. All right, let me see. Souls Acrylic. My hope is in it. Expose the inner peace that I got. I hope you get it. I flow in with it. I flow in with it. Like again with it. Nope, forgot Sue. So again, Sue, chop with it. Who with it? My crew with it. That's my son, hubby, and daughter. They get it. It's Cook with it. Last name Cook. I got the pot and pans with it. We dance with it. Get the bands with it. Fans, they be like, oh, she is. Yeah, I'm done. I'm done.
Yo,
I lost it.
You caught it.
Quit playing with it.
She got it back.
I caught it back like, man, quit it. I got mad digits. Yeah, that's we done right there.
Man.
She fumbled, she caught it, then she ran towards the goal line. Yeah, I mean, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's why you know that you are the anomaly, because we can't figure out when you gonna start, when you gonna stop.
You just don't know. You just never know. I forever go. I forever flow. Jesus, hip hop, and comments. We forever those.
Woo!
You got clever clothes. Picasso on my shirt. You see it? Never though. Could you ever wear it, yo? No, I'm kidding.
And his levels like Walmart, they never close. But
Never close.
Your life, he got his hand in it. Nah, let me stop.
I think we have a new of our ranking of people who freestyle on the show. I think we have a new number one.
Yes.
Yeah, this is definitely our best.
I can already say
that was the best freestyle.
That's
number
right.
one.
Well, she with GOM, you know what I'm saying? She got to be you got to be on there. You can't be no regular segular over there. You got to have the bar.
Regular segular.
You know what I mean?
Regular degular.
No,
Cut you in the jugular.
She's just gonna make sure that every
Flow secular.
she's gonna keep rhyming every answer.
So what was the process of Souls Acrylic? Well, Souls Acrylic, and then she's just gonna keep going
Right.
the whole time.
Right.
Souls Acrylic, bars idyllic. All right.
Quit
Eli.
fooling around.
This is we're having fun now.
Dang. All right. That was an artist at work. We got some art questions for you, AI, in addition to
What's up?
3 questions, because we know you love some photography too. So here we go. Question 1. Who painted the Scream?
Who painted the Scream?
Scream.
Van Gogh.
It's actually Edward.
Oh, no. Shh. Wait. dang it. Ah, shoot. Don't tell me. Don't tell me because I'm gonna be mad. Wait.
You got
That's
it.
not Van Gogh. That's dang it. It's like on the tip of my tongue. Don't tell me.
Give her initials.
Don't.
You want initials?
I don't even want initials. Just tell me the next one. It's gonna come to me.
The next question.
Yeah, no, I just skipped that question and it'll come to me.
Back around. Second question. What's the term for a painting executed entirely in shades of gray?
Monochrome? I don't know.
It's Grisel.
Grisel. Grayscale. That's basically what it is.
Right. All right. Question 3. Vermilion is a shade of what color?
Yeah, y'all asking me questions. I don't know.
That's the point. We're trying to
Vermilion.
stump you. We're trying to stump you.
I pulled out some harder ones that he put in there too.
Yeah,
I was like,
see?
no one's gonna know this.
I definitely don't know. Educate us.
It's a shade of red, apparently. I had no
Yo, say the word again, because I like stuff like this. Say it.
vermilion.
Vermilion. I bet you're going to hear that in some of my bars one day. Vermilion. Jesus drip with the vermilion. It was vermilion.
Sold
Y'all trying to
3
reach
times
to a million. I just want that Jesus blood. Vermilion. No, I'm kidding.
Restarting Build a Bar. That's it. It's just coming right back. All right. Question 4. Any color plus white is a
Dope color.
solid. That's a solid.
Oh, any color plus white is a lighter version of the original color.
We accept that one. It's a tint.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Y'all asking me real like painters questions that I really do not know because I'm a painter of bars.
That's it. Okay, so we'll switch off to photography for a little bit. We'll see how we do here.
Uh-oh, I better do good in this one because this is my area of expertise.
Perfect. Okay, so question 5. What are 7 technical compositions of photography?
7 technical compositions or 7 elements of photography? Are they talking about
Elements works.
right,
Elements
right.
would be fine.
So you're talking like shape, form, texture, pattern. Perspective is more of a principle of a design. So line, light. Did I say shape? Did I say space?
Yes.
Okay, so that's
You said
basically it.
space. You said space, form, shape, color, line. You got 2 more.
Oh,
I think
shape.
she's good with that though.
Yeah, I'll say them again. Shape, space, color, line, pattern, perspective, and space, shape. Form is 1. And then the design principle is perspective, which you could break down into 3: the close up, the midpoint, and you can go with bird's eye view or worm's eye view.
I think we all just went to school. That's it.
Yeah.
We'll allow it. It's in.
Perfect. All right.
Dope.
Question 6. What are the 3 elements of photography?
So
Well, I gave those.
No. So those, whatever we looked up was wrong. So the three different ways, like the 3 most important things of creating your shot, like
Okay.
as far as the camera settings.
As far as the camera settings, okay, so I mean, you want to, the answer could kind of be subjective, but if you're dealing with lighting, you want to be sure of your ISO, you want to be sure of your aperture level, your shutter speed as well, and you want to make sure you're in focus and you have your subject in the frame.
Those
Yeah,
are-
you got it.
Yeah.
Mm,
Absolutely. Perfect. Question 7. Let's keep it going. What is the definition of mise en scene?
Mise en scene, dang, yo, it's not coming to me. It's not coming to me, unfortunately.
Okay, so
Mise
one
en scene.
here is the arrangement of the scenery, props, etc. on the stage of a theatrical production.
Yeah. That's right.
We got one more question. Then if you want to come back around to the screen, I'll give you the time to do it.
Munch, right?
Yeah, it was Edward.
Edward Munch, or his name is actually Edvard Munch. Yeah.
Munch. Perfect. All right, last question then. Who were the Lumiere brothers?
Lumiere brothers. Is this a photography question? Or
It's a camera film.
because aren't the
Question.
Lumiere brothers the ones that did Matrix or no?
No, those are the
No.
Wachowski.
Yeah.
Now they're the Wachowski sisters.
Cut's dying over there at that response.
I don't know. They sound familiar, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so the Lumiere brothers were French. I didn't know this either. I have no idea. Justin took notes on this one.
Frank Lloyd? No.
They were French inventors and manufacturers of photographic equipment who devised the motion picture camera and projector called the cinematograph. Is that how I pronounce that?
Cinematography. Or cinematographer?
Cinematograph.
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 Graph.
The time of my Greg.
Whatever. It's not cinematography. It's cinematograph.
It's a graph?
Whatever. But the Lumiere brothers, I think their early film, some of the first like films ever created. I think one of them, the famous one, is like a train. It's just like a train coming towards the screen.
Yes.
Remember that from film class?
Yeah.
And the people actually got scared because they'd never seen moving pictures before.
They thought they were gonna get hit by a train like crazies. But could you imagine like seeing that for the first time? Like I think I would have been like, oh shoot, it's a train coming through the screen. I don't know what's going on.
Witchcraft.
All right, Luke. So take us home for the final game.
All right, final game. Final game is called Run It Back. And so what I'm going to do, I'm not the greatest rapper, so I'm going to start off some old rhymes of yours, and we'll see if you can pick up the rhyme from where I leave it off. See if you
Let's just go with a hard no, okay? But let's try it.
Let's just try. Let's try. I don't think these were too difficult. Some of these I'm like digging in the crates for. These were just some of my favorites of you from early on, so I think they're more known. So I'm not going to tell you what song it is. I'm just going to start saying the line. So here we go.
Go for it.
Here's the first one. They say that I'm crazy. They say that I'm fading.
They say that I think that I'm crazy. Wait. They say that I'm crazy. They say that I'm faded. They say that I think that I'm major. Yeah.
How does it keep going?
That I'm major.
Can you keep going?
They say that I'm crazy. They say that I'm faded. They say that I think that I'm major. I don't
need to think I know. Child of God, I'm focused.
Yeah. Child of God
Bible
and
cocked
I'm
and
focused.
I'm
Bible cocked and I'm loaded. Something.
All right, that was
I know
I'm
it though.
Crazy.
It's called I'm crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yo, that's
see, you did better than you thought you would. You had it.
Yeah. I did terrible. Go fooling around.
All right. All right, song 2. I've got questions, though they'll never be answered. I've been restless, wondering what if you love me enough.
What if you love me enough to give up the dust?
Yep. You got the next line.
Why you gotta bring up a sad song, bro?
I know.
It hit me in my heart like that. You know what's crazy? My sister just sent me these earrings, and it's a picture of my biological mother.
Oh wow!
I just opened these joints up. This song is about about her. So what's the joint? Give me that line again.
I've been restless, wondering if you love me enough to give up the lust.
Wondering, give up the lust, the lines, the dust, chopping at something.
Crust.
Yeah, it's hard to check.
Rumbling fumes. Smoking that pipe off in that room.
Yeah, fucking that pipe off in that room. Yeah, yo, that's a somber song, bro.
Yeah, but that was like the first time I heard you, and I was like, oh man, this is deep. This is emotional. This is good.
Yep.
So,
It is.
yeah.
It is. It's been a long time since I actually listened to that song.
Right.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah. So anyway, this is me going like nostalgia, like looking back on your song.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. Last one. I am your pain. I'm your pleasure. I'm your weight.
Oubliette. Yes. Yo, this is a difficult song, yo.
It's crazy.
It's a very difficult song. It's mad lyrical, mad words. I kind of want to cheat and find my lyrics and just read them. I'm gonna be real with you, but give me the line again.
I'm your pain. I'm your pleasure. I'm your weight.
I am your weight.
I'm your failures.
Yeah, I'm gonna cheat. I'm looking it up. Yeah, so I could lose the point, whatever. I am your pain, I am your pleasure, I am your weight, I am your failures, I am your flaws, I'm your fate. If a weight is found, I'll take it down and grip it till I rip it out, stuck in this chamber chain and you cannot escape. I am your fallen efforts, your broken treasures, I am your friend, I am your enemy, your unanswered questions. I am what you chose to fill your voids, I am your noise, your distractions, your attractions, I am your choice. Woo! That song's crazy.
That's crazy. It's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
That video
Cool.
is crazy too.
Yep. Yep.
And so, just for context, for people like, hey, what is she talking about? So it's the devil speaking.
Yep.
It's a conflict between me and the enemy, me and the inner me. That's the true enemy. Back to the bars. Let's get it, G.
I think
Flip
that was her
it.
favorite game, guys. That was her favorite one.
Oh, now I got to answer questions. Let's just keep rapping. All right. So you very successfully ran through the game portion of Pen Game 101.
You ain't got to give me that much credit, Justin. I didn't do too good.
You took the freestyle crown, though.
Cool. I'll take that crown.
That's the top. You took the freestyle crown. Here's the final part of the show. This is the 101. The 101, you're going to take us to school. We're going to throw some questions at you, and you are going to teach us. But you've already kind of been doing this the whole time. So now it's just more pointed questions at things you know about, because it's yourself and your album and whatever.
Dope.
So we're going to start it off with Luke. So, Luke, you got the first question, man.
Oh, man. No pressure, huh? All right. All right. By the way, AI, I talked with you on the phone last year about your song "Don't Fail Me," and so yeah, just for context, like we've talked before. So we talked about being parents, and I think we both had our 10-year anniversary of being married last year. Like all that. So anyway, a lot of my questions today have to do with that, but I'm just going to start off kind of easy, and then Anyway, I just wanted to give you some context. My bad.
Sweet. Appreciate it.
All right, so first off, this album is conceived so incredibly well, from creative direction, stance, to the cohesiveness, and a handoff between themes, between the songs, the allusions to painting, and the metaphor for the journey of life and how you're giving away your art to the world. Everything is just so beautiful. How did you construct this, though? Can you talk a little bit about your creative process and what that looked like?
Well, typically I just live. I just live life. And because I got a passion for music, I see life musically. So I translate what I live through with my pen, and I capture it through a camera as well. And I say this a lot, so everybody that heard me say it, it's just here we go again. But like I really look at it, I look at music like the track. I take this thing serious, music in itself as like my words and the way that I use my tone and the context and all of those things. Those are instruments that are added to that beat in order to gel well with the beat. I have to take time with it, and I take my time with it, vibe with it, I be on these bars sipping fine linen. No, I'm kidding. That rhymed too, actually. So I call it dating the beat. So I take my time. I really do. Like I wasn't playing when I said that in Preach. I do take my time with it. I want to listen to the beat and the sounds. So my process, and I don't do that for every single song, sitting there like, okay, what is this beat telling me? Nah, it's just a vibe. I feel it. Sometimes it comes quicker, sometimes it doesn't. But for this particular one, just to get the stab at the question that you're asking, I was living life, and I was reflecting to life and responding to art with art through music. And I wanted to display my love for jazz and soul. I wanted to display my love for hip hop, and I wanted to display my love for poetry. And I felt like I found a space that each of those can live in safely and gel with the best way possible, while telling a message of God is my hope. And these things are just normal things that I go through, and I want to share with you, and family and entrepreneurship. I mixed all of that in there for the people, really for me to get through first, And then for those who want, dig my style, like, yo, the door is here. You knock on it, open it up. Welcome to Souls Acrylic, you know?
Cool.
Word, that was dope. That was dope. You know what I'm saying? So, follow-up question would be,
Yo.
it's January.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is
you
it?
drop an album of the year contender out the gate. Out the gate, girl, out the gate.
That's what's up.
Giving us an art exhibit on wax.
Ooh.
How I feel to finally have this joint out.
Man, it feels like man, yo, I remember the feeling I had when I did my first actual gallery exhibit in the very place in which I learned about photography back when I was 15. And so I think it was 2018 is when I had the gallery exhibit. And I walked in and I saw people looking at the work. And one of the things that I'm very specific about is creating art and creating pieces that are going to get a diverse group of people together and have them talk and converse and rub shoulders against each other, and just kind of like share stories. And when I stepped into the gallery and I saw people looking at my work and talking about it and watching the videos and looking at the prints and looking at the poetry on the wall, I was just filled with I was just in awe. Like, this is really happening in the very place in which I learned about this. Here it is. I was able to display these pieces, on this wall. So it's that same kind of feeling. The CD becomes this gallery space, and your ears are able to journey through these exhibits or these pieces of art that come together, and then you get to talk about it. You get to talk about what you love about it. You get to talk about what you don't love, to talk about the things that you don't understand. You get to discuss, like, why did she do this and why didn't she do that? Like, it's art, and that's the beauty of art. It's just that process. So that's that feeling, and it's bringing it more real for you. It's those goosebumps, the goosebumps you feel. It's the deep breath, the fast, pump of your heart. Like, yo, I just created something, and it took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and frustrations, and aggravation, and beauty, and pain, and here it is. It's a birth, yo. It's a birth. I got real poetic. My bad.
Nah, it's cool. It's beautiful. It's bouncing. It's beautiful. All 10 eyes and toes. It's finna be president one day. This birth, what you did.
I don't want to be president.
Man, it's great. It's great though. So you talk about how you date the beat, how you know that you can tap into these emotions in different ways than most people. What is that like, and how do you choose how to craft all that you are able to craft? I'm trying to, like, I have notes here, but like as you're talking, I'm like, man, you're so artistic in how you deliver these lines, and your performances. You can throw out melodies. You got laid back flows. You got just these like hushed vocals thing, like a Kendrick thing going, and you got some like really gritty stuff where you're just clenching your teeth and just going. Like, how do you choose in the moment, like what this song is calling for at any given time, and how can you what is your bag like that you can just choose what to pull out at whatever time? How did you get to this spot you are today so you can be an artist who's like this?
First and foremost, I stay true to my roots. I went to a performing arts school, and I studied music, like, just really was into music, at a young age. I actually discovered a couple years ago, when I went on that journey to discover like my biological family, it was in my 20s, and I discovered that my grandfather was a drummer and a professor, and he had a band called the Fourth. I forgot the name of the band. That's sad. Fourth World or something like that, and he had like Dee Dee Bridgewater and some other different people, listening to that, and then like what an epiphany, what a moment when I discovered that everything just made sense. I listened to that record, or the records, right? And I'm like, this is where this comes from. Like, how beautiful it would have been to be a young kid knowing that my grandfather was this amazing artist who was a dope drummer. And then I started to discover, like, many people knew him in my city and Rochester and different spaces. So it started making sense to me. But let me stick with your question. Like, how do I come to the point of dipping in and out of these styles? Like, it's really dating the beat. In order to develop certain styles and sounds and like, okay, I'm going to do this, I have to understand the instruments and the vibe and what it's giving me. In order to do that, I have to study it. And I don't want to say this as if like I'm really like taking 5 years, like, okay, whoa, that's a string. Okay, all right. And that, you know, like, it's not necessarily that. I think over time I began to develop this understanding when it comes to music. And it's like, this type of beat calls for this, but I'm going to fight that and see if I can get something different if I do this, and then play with it. The other thing I feel like, and I hope to God that this never leaves me, is that I don't subscribe to the sound that is popular now. I don't subscribe to it. If people want to, that's cool. But for me, I don't subscribe to the sound. It might be dope. It's like, cool, I'm aware. But I don't do that, and I try to stay in my bag.
Right.
I'll listen and I'll hear like, okay, that's dope. And if I do want to try that, I'm going to try it, but I'm going to flip it upside down and give it an AI vibe. Like, the sound is not going to control me. I, as the artist, will manipulate the sound and
100%.
make it who I am and what I want. So that's basically, and as you listen to the project, from one song to the next, it's just going to be different. That's just what it is what it is. Every beat is a canvas, and I'm going to paint however that canvas is going to kind of sway and move me. I'm moving with it. So that's kind of the way in which that's my approach, really.
That's amazing. Yeah. Thanks.
No
Thanks.
doubt.
Okay. Listen. All right. So on this project, on this project.
Uh-oh, some more bars? Let's go.
Yeah, on this project, you display your love for art in various forms and mediums, which help you get an outlet to grow and find your voice over time, despite your surroundings and your experience. And you're also an art curator in your secret identity, like Wonder Woman, which fits you because you're a lyrical wonder in the booth. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it.
What was it that first attracted you to the arts?
Oof. So, you know my story. If you know my story, you know I come from a mother who abused drugs. She died. I was 3 years old. Beautiful woman. Just had some voids, some voids in her life. And the first initial thing was that we had to go to counseling. So my mom passed away. I was 3, got older. My foster mother actually adopted us when I turned 7. She kept me and my sister and brother together. God bless her. She's 88 today, still moving and shaking, run a church pantry, killing it, doing some dope things. I spend every Monday with her. She kept us involved. We went to counseling, and the counselor noticed that I had a difficult time expressing myself. We were diagnosed as emotionally handicapped, so it was just tough for us, like literally diagnosed, like it was a diagnosis that because of what we went through, we would have issues emotionally throughout our life. But this counselor gave me a pen and a paper and told me to write how I felt. I drew pictures, wrote stories. And so the writing is what I fell in love with first. And then hip hop. I was introduced to hip hop. And I was like, oh, shoot, this is dope. I couldn't listen to the radio, so I had to sneak that in because my mom was a avid Kojic churchgoer. Thank God for that. Sure, thank God for that because that's what led me to Christ. But we couldn't listen to the radio, so I had to sneak it. I you know how you used to record music on the tape.
Yeah.
That's what I used to do.
That's
Now
right.
I'm that years old. So hey, I'm telling my age.
We did.
It is what it is. But yeah, so I used to do that, listen to music. As a matter of fact, I would write down all the lyrics. So Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, Missy, Eminem, Pac, even though I wasn't necessarily a Pac fan. I loved his style and what he was about at a certain point, but I was more of a Biggie fan. It is what it is. Sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. That's my opinion. So I would write their lyrics down. Word for word, I would write their lyrics down and memorize them and just rap them. And then I would try to fit my own words in there. And then also my brother rapped and he had this notebook. This is something I've never told. My brother rapped. He had a notebook. I stole his notebook and I memorized all his raps. And I would go to school and rap them and say it was mine. It was fun. But yeah, that's where the love kind of for hip hop came from. But I went to, school and learned about musicality and stuff like that and just embraced sounds, jazz, Ella Fitzgerald and Frank Sinatra, Fats Domino, Duke Ellington, just different, amazing artists who had their own styles and just embraced their own styles and weren't afraid to be authentically themselves, So I think they were anomalies, so.
Fact.
I don't even know if I answered your question.
Oh, no. It's not, you said you was in there like swimwear, you know what I'm saying? So checking out the follow-up question that I would have is, in your opinion, how important is it to keep the arts alive in our schools, especially in the inner city, lower class communities? You know what I'm saying?
That I started talking about music. You were talking about arts, but yeah.
Music is a part of the arts, though.
It is absolutely. It's imperative. It's imperative, especially for a kid like me, who was told I would be a failure to thrive. Now I'm about to go in right here.
Hey, go ahead.
Hey, it is what it is. But it's imperative, especially for young people that was like me, who had this background and feeling as though I wasn't going to be able to achieve anything. I kept getting in trouble. I tried to do better. I just had this thing in me, that rebellious like fire that just wanted to go against the grain since I was a kid, and a lot of fights and things like that. And so when I was introduced to the arts, I was introduced to a space in which it became my safe haven. It became my place in which you can't label this. I get to push the button and take the picture. I get to show you what I want to show you. I get to write the words. You don't write my words. I get to paint the portrait. This is not your canvas. So it's imperative that the arts continuously be present within education, because if it wasn't for it, like, I'm not sure where I would be. The arts really molded me. It helped me be a creative problem solver. I run a business that's based off of the arts. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I learned this stuff when I was a kid and I held on to it. And now I'm an entrepreneur making money, good money, might I add, through the arts. And not even just music, but just like through my business, I'm able to create pictures and, work with different people and just make a living off of the arts. I'm the data, I like to say, of arts and education in schools. I'm the numbers. The stereotypes that was set before me. People said that, I would be a failure to thrive. You're going to end up just like your mom. You're going to end up just like your dad. All of these things. But they didn't know, first of all, what kind of hold God would have on my life if I chose to seek him. And so my thing is faith and arts. For me, like, I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for faith and arts. arts and education is imperative. I work with a lot of youth in detention centers and schools all over, all in Buffalo and the surrounding area. And there's kids, sorry to go on and on, but there's kids who cannot write an essay for an assignment. But put me in the room with them. They'll write an essay and it's going to be dope. They'll write some poetry. They'll express themselves because I have this language that I understand, and let's do this. Yeah, man, it's imperative. It's imperative. It's the skills that you learn through arts and education are life skills. Can't sleep on it. Cannot sleep on it.
Yeah, I really appreciate everything you've said, both with Cut and with Luke's questions. You talked about the idea of sort of taking what's mainstream and flipping it and making it your own with both of them. And I think one of the sort of themes that comes up on the album that is sort of a flip of the way we see things in the mainstream, there are several tracks that challenge the traditional view of women's empowerment and offer a gospel-centered alternative. So talk us through some ideas of what effective empowerment of women's voices looks like in our space.
Absolutely. So, there's a lot of ways to go about tackling this particular question, I think it's a matter of showcasing what womanhood is, but I truly believe that can be subjective, right? It depends on your experiences and how you grew up and things like that. So my take on womanhood and what it means to be a woman is going to be a lot different from other people, which is why we love diversity, right? Diversity of thought and diversity of minds, which I think is kind of being faded away a little bit. Seems like everybody wants to have the same kind of view, and if you don't think like this, then you're not accepted or you get canceled or whatever the case is. So understanding that I came from a household where my mother was in her 50s when she adopted us and pulled us in, she was an avid churchgoer, Kojic, so, wearing skirts all day, every day, stuff like that. I didn't wear skirts every day, but for church, always dresses, always modesty, had a slip on, put your legs together, make sure, you're not sitting like a guy, and just carry yourself in a certain way in which it's respectful. So that's where I'm coming from. Now, of course, there's views that, why does that mean that that's a woman? If I want to sit like a certain way or whatever, I should be able to do that. Hey, it's actually facts. You can really do whatever you want to. Remember, we do have freedom of choice. We have free will. But as for me, looking back on the way that my mother raised us, especially me and my sister, and how we handle ourselves as women to be respected, to be go-getters, to carry ourselves gently, but also firm, looking people in the eye and just straight up just be respectful. I appreciate it and I hold on to that. Then we also have examples in the Bible of women who were respected. You have your Esther, you have your Ruth, you have some really substantial women who carried themselves in a certain way. Were they perfect? No. But they showcased the beauty that was loud enough to be spoken about in the Bible, right? And then you have Proverbs 31 woman, which everybody say that most women, and then a lot of men say that they want a woman like that, or most women want to subscribe or ascribe to become. When I really look at Proverbs 31 woman, I think people may get it a little twisted, I want a woman who's going to be, submissive and just, do this and, stay at home and take care. I don't know people are saying those things, but not, I'm not saying you guys are, but when I look at the when I look at the scriptures in there, I see a woman who's a go-getter. I really read that joint. She not sitting around twiddling her thumb. She's really going out and getting it. and she's getting it for the sake of her family. And it talks about how her husband, and I'm paraphrasing, these aren't the exact words from the scripture, but her husband adores her and like got her back, and she brings honor to her family. You know, she's doing, I believe she's sewing and then buying land, and like whatever her hands are finding to do, she's doing it unto the Lord. And like, I think that's womanhood. You know, that's what we should be showcasing. We should lean on the Bible. Like, I have my experiences, right? My experiences might not be like everyone else's, and I've taken that in and lived it out in the way I would live it out. But leaning on what the Bible says about women, which, you know, some people might have issues with in certain spaces, but that's the way that I look at it. Yo, I'm, especially in a space like when it comes to support from men, I feel like I've been supported really well by guys within this genre, but I know that at times there's women who don't feel that. The way that I look at it is like we're your sisters in Christ. Carry us gently in that way. You know, there's talks about how men are, you know, saying or doing certain things in DMs, and some women be doing the same thing. But in the CHH space, I think there's a certain level of respect that we as women need to receive and give. Vice versa, men should do the same. We're your sisters first. And so with that mindset, I think that's how it, you know, that should flow. It's for, if we're still talking about womanhood. I know I gave a long, drawn out answer, but yeah, that's how I feel. And I could go on and on about that because it's very important to me. And, you know, especially within this space, but outside of, I got a daughter, you know, want to be an example.
Thank you for that. Yeah. AI, my favorite aspect of this album is the way it embraces, unifies, and represents all the roles you play, from artist to mother to sister to wife, and the challenges that come with each of those. So what does the balance between all of that look like on a regular? And is there ever a concern that one or two of those roles takes precedent and the others suffer as a result?
Yo, all I can be is real. At times it looks like a chaotic mess. Just real talk. And I speak as a woman because that's what I am. Wife, mom, you know, y'all know what I'm talking about. It looks really chaotic, and, you know, we walk around with smiles on our face, but we really just want to go to sleep. We really do. We don't want to cook anything and do laundry. We just want to go to sleep. And we don't want to be woken up by little people sometimes, you know. But as far as the balance of it, I've learned to embrace a word more so like managing it, you know, and always being on my toes, just making sure like when there's times in which I feel that it's chaotic, taking a pause and like readjusting, like, okay, yo, it's like I just had to do this as a matter of fact. It's a lot going on right now. Everybody's at home. My husband is upstairs. He's a teacher. He teaches fourth graders. My son is 13. He is in 8th grade. So my husband is in the kitchen working with his kids virtually. My son is in his little office space, the little playroom. He's on his virtual space. My daughter's 4 and she's climbing on me while I'm trying to do my work. I'm homeschooling her, and I was like overloaded, yo. Overloaded. I have contracts, I have Zoom meetings, I have calls I need to make, you know, and it, as a wife and a mom, sometimes you feel like you have to take it all on and take it all in because you're kind of thinking about everything. Like, well, I can't send her upstairs because I don't want to interrupt them, so I'll just take care of it here. But I had to readjust because that's chaotic, because I can't get my work done. So I had to step back and say, okay, I'm going to have to make a sacrifice. I'm going to have to work at a different time. I'm going to have to shift. And then I have to communicate So part of management is communicating with my husband to tell him, hey, look, I'm overwhelmed and I feel like this. And he knows it. Sometimes I'll be like, yo, I'm a bit jealous that you get to focus in and teach your kids. You don't get no interruptions. He gets interruptions by my daughter as well. But it's like, I have to be honest with my feelings. And I think sometimes we forget to do that because we just try to suck it up and do it. And that's not good. But it's all about like managing, communicating. We were able to communicate and then create a schedule so that it can work. Now, I'm not saying that to be like, oh, we killing it now. Nah, we working it out. We moving and shaking. Every day is another day. Some days are really great. Some days are like, oh shoot, we dropped the ball. But it's a constant process and journey, yo. It's management. It's all about management. Trying to manage you.
Oh, sorry. So you shared a lot of scars and family trauma on this project, with Take My Hand being a record that highlights how that trauma has impacted you and your other siblings. Were you ever wary of your family having feelings about you being so open with the details of them and your parents in your songs?
Yes. I think that's one of the biggest fears that I had. One of my projects that I did, it was like my second project, but I call it like my first official one, Severed Threads. Severed Threads was that project that allowed me to just be vulnerable and just go with it. Because what was happening in my life was I was being affected by not dealing with my past and the emotions of that and the issues and the hurt and the pain of it, not having my mother and trying to figure out what that did to me as a grown up, how that made me feel as a kid, not focusing on mourning my mother. Never mourned my mother, never sat and was like, oh, like my mom is gone. What does that mean to me? Not until I got in my 20s. And so I had to like really come to a place like, yo, it's imperative for my life and my growth to talk about this. And for me, I had to talk about it through the only way that I felt like I knew how to, and it's music. And Severed Threads is one of my favorite projects because of it. It wasn't a project to put out and be like, yo, y'all, I just dropped this project. You know what I mean? Go stream it and listen to it. Severed Threads was an opportunity for me to journey and to travel into a space in which I'd never have gone into. And I couldn't be fearful about how my family would feel, which was difficult. It took a lot to do that project because I'm like, if I say that, how my cousin's gonna feel? How my sister gonna feel? How's my mom gonna feel? My adoptive mother. That was a big thing. Like, will she feel like her work wasn't enough? She adopted us. She gave us all she could, and like my thoughts were, will she feel like she did it in vain? Will she feel like, oh, you felt like that all this time? Like all these things and thoughts go in your mind. And I think that's what happens a lot with foster children, adoptive children, and children that grow up within the system. It's always that feeling of like, oh man, I can't talk about how I really feel because I might hurt the feelings of these other people. And I just personally feel like that's detrimental. Like, yo, I was in a dark space, even with Christ. You know what I mean? Like, I was in a really, really painful space. And I was only able to get through because I had a relationship with God, but I was still hurt. And I'm telling you, going through the process of like, yo, this is what happened to me. This is how I felt. And I did the song Abandoned. I asked my mom questions. because I'll never be able to ask her questions. She's gone. I have to deal with that. You know, I have to look in the mirror and know, like, yo, I look just like this woman. And I still feel hurt. Like, man, like I wish she could be here to see her grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? So all of that, you know, trying to cope with all of those things, I just really think that at the end of the day, you gotta live. I have to live. This is my life. The things that happened to me happened. It's my story. And it's my story to tell. Now, there's ways in which you go about that. I did go to my adoptive mother and I shared songs with her and I explained things to her. And we had to go through the ups and downs of how she felt about certain stuff. And, I felt like it was important to go to her and say, hey, look, like, I'm going through these things and I want to be better. And this is my way of being better. I just want you to support me. Can you support me? And she did. I went to my sister and I said the same thing. My brother is out, and on a project, you'll learn a little bit more as far as the Grab My Hand track. Pray for my brother, But I had to explain to some people in my family, like, yo, I just need your support. I know it's not going to feel good with me saying this and this and that. I just need your support so I could be okay. And then I went through that process and I'm okay, but I'm still coping. I'm still in pain sometimes, but I'm okay. Sometimes I'm not okay. It's just, it's the way you go. It's life. But yeah, short answer, it's imperative. it's imperative to talk about those things.
With a picture being worth 1,000 words, are there specific pictures that you could have taken or could take for each of these songs to be a snapshot of your life? And also thinking of how you do like these art galleries with your pictures, could you possibly hold a visual gallery to be experienced with this music?
Absolutely. I'm actually very thrilled that you asked that question, because now I get to talk about something that's dope that nobody knows yet. Only people behind the scenes kind of know about. But if you go back to all the singles, Facts, Relentless, Preach, even Don't Fail Me. Not necessarily Eastside. Eastside happened some time ago, but Eastside will be on this project. Go back and look at the cover graphic. Those are all my original photos, and I collaborated with an artist. His name is Steven. So Feet for Thoughts, maybe some of you know. He's a graphic designer from the UK. He's dope. And I collaborated with him, and I wanted him to take my original photos and add a paint style to it to showcase the two elements. And so, yes, it can be a complete gallery. Also, the other thing, I'm so glad you asked this question. Exclusive.
I had one question to ask, so I tried to make it a good one.
Yeah, that's super dope. So I'm thinking on how to say this, but I'm gonna just say how I say it. This book, I made a book, right? It's called Soul's Acrylic Journal, and in this book, actually it's a journal, and in this journal, there's images, like that's the facts cover. There's also poetry. There's some other, original photos and things like that. So I did a poetry photography journal that, I want to share with people, like, yo, this is how I write in this certain original photo on the front cover that expands to the back. But and for this particular project, I wanted to really give all of me. So I want to give you poetry, I want to give you photography, I want to give you bars, and then I want to give you an opportunity to take your own journey and write what you want to write, and go through the process. And then there's some other things that I want to do with that as well. Their exclusive shirt with a photo, limited edition with one of the photos that I've taken. So yes. To short answer, yes, there could be a gallery, and I think that's kind of what I've done. There will be prints available for sale for those who want to purchase prints as time goes on. And one of the things that I have to continue to make sure that I speak about, because as an artist, I get to do my art the way I want to do it. And I think that we as artists need to continue to keep the power of our art, and to express ourselves in a way in which we want to. I get to take the proceeds from purchases and then pour it into youth right here in my city. I get to mentor young people who follow me on IG. You see the little mentorship things that I do. I need to post more so y'all can see some amazing stuff that they're doing. We produce art, like videos and content and stuff like that. I'm teaching them about photography, film, developing visual projects, basically teaching a group of young creatives how to create, how to respond to art with art. And so, got the Patreon page. You want to go support, you can do that. Buy merch, enjoy the music, enjoy the merch, enjoy the content. Help me, support me as I support the next generation of creatives.
So that was AI, the Anomaly of God Over Money, just dropped her amazing project, Souls Acrylic. You should pick it up everywhere on streaming platforms, or you can actually buy a copy. She's got a book coming, which we just found out. There's potentially an art gallery that's just coming out. She slayed the freestyles. She did. I'll take her humbleness. She did pretty good on the other questions. These were really hard questions. But overall, this was super dope. This was very fun. Episode 7 of the show. Thank you so much for your time. And that's all I got to say. If you got anything left to say, you could say it. If not, we will see you later.
No, I just really appreciate the opportunity, Justin. I feel like we've been walking this journey for a while. You've always been so super supportive. I shout Justin out because that's just facts. I appreciate Elijah, Richard, and Luke. I really appreciate you guys. I called you Richard. Yep, that's right.
Yo, you saw out my face. Was
Yep,
like, ah.
yep. Because you gave us a terrible joke, so I gotta call you Richard.
I done brother. I lost my seat. I'm about to go.
Ricard. But real talk, man. I appreciate what y'all doing over at Rapzilla. Always been supportive. Shout out to Chad. He's been super supportive in this whole process of my music career. It's funny because he asked me, did I want to do this as a career? And I told him years ago, I was like, nah, it's just, this is just, I love music. And then like a year later, it was like, oh, I don't know what happened. It just happened. But, I like, for real talk, I appreciate the platform that you guys have created for us artists. A lot of times you get slack, but I just want to up you guys on what you're trying to do or what you're doing. So thank you. My outro is pray, push, persevere. And in everything that you do, y'all make sure y'all go all in.
All right, so that was AI, the Anomaly. That was phenomenal. I'd have to say, I think she's like a borderline genius, just the way that she was talking and putting these sentences together. We didn't even have time to get to everything we wanted to ask her. It was more than enough. Like I said before, she killed it on everything. I didn't mention this before, but she was a Rapzilla freshman for 2020. So that means we know that something big is coming. So this is her big. Souls Acrylic is her big 2021. She didn't waste any time. She came right out the gate. So pick that up now. Follow AI. Everything she does is art. She exudes art. It just comes, it sheds off of her, whether it be photography, whether it be visuals, whether it be poetry and actual hip hop. And she gives that back to the community, her community of Buffalo, New York. So that's amazing. AI, shout out to you. Thank you. And for us, Justin, Luke, Elijah, and Cutright, this is the Pen Game 101 crew, episode 7, and we will see you all next time. Peace.